My name is Dr. Christopher Robinson, and I'm at Brigham and Women's Hospital, but you can call me Chris. First and foremost, take a moment to be proud of your accomplishments. Transitioning from medical training to residency is a significant milestone. This journey is filled with many joys, but it also comes with its share of stressors. One common source of stress for residents is navigating finances during the transition. At Doc, we have been in your shoes, and we want to share practical advice from our own experiences to help you succeed. Before we begin, in full disclosure, I only hold 2 licenses, one to practice medicine and one to drive. The presentation is intended as a friendly informational session and should not be taken as financial advice. You're going to learn 3 things. 1, how to look at your incoming expenses. 2, how to make budgeting priorities. And 3, how to use financial resources to help you navigate challenging times. Now let's look at earnings of some of our colleagues and how they compare to us. Over the course of our careers, physicians will earn significantly much more than, let's say, electrician, where we earn $13.8 million and they earn $3.1 million. But when we walk it back and look at our younger years, for example, at the age of 26, we have significantly more debt and lower income due to years of training as compared to our electrician colleagues. In earlier years, the compounded effect of this delayed earning and high debt makes it essential to have a solid financial strategy. You should approach your financial roadmap with the same discipline, thoughtfulness, and strategy that you apply to your studies. Seek mentors and opportunities to strengthen your understanding of financial planning. So, what are some common financial challenges for residents as you enter residency? Well, there's moving expenses. You have rental deposits, U-Haul rentals, broker fees, weddings, honeymoons, starting a family, emergency expenses, car repairs or medical costs, and then we have credit card debt, which we accumulate during medical school and during residency, unfortunately. Now, during residency, there are additional expenses that we'll have to include. If we're applying for a fellowship, there are fellowship application travel costs. If we have children, we have childcare. If we want to delay children, then we have fertility preservation. Then there's always the unexpected expenses for your family and yourself. As you advance in your career, borrowing often shifts towards growth-oriented goals, such as business investments or home improvements. Here at Doc, since we've been through it, we want to guide you through it. We've created a financial toolkit to help you with your transition to residency. The toolkit includes examples of first-year budgets, tips for saving money, and a checklist covering all the aspects of moving from school to residency. I know that part of the reason you're here today is because you're cash strapped for savings. You're in dire need of funds. You're thinking about how can I even afford to do all the things I need to do when I move to my new city for residency. In an intern year, I'm bombarded with new information while having the patient's life in my hands. So this is exactly what I want to talk about savings. The right savings strategy can help you reduce your costs faster during residency. It's also important for you to build the habit of saving strategically so that you can reach your financial goals faster while still doing incredible clinical medicine. Overall, you have to remember your saving priorities are dire: debt, insurance, retirement, and emergency fund. So the first one is debt. The interest you pay for your credit card is a cost of having that loan or credit card. So debt is your number one savings priority. When you prioritize credit card and loan repayments, you benefit in 2 ways. First, you can reduce your interest payments by reducing your overall debt. Second, you improve your credit profile. A credit score is roughly a predictor of how likely you are to repay your debt. So when you focus on debt repayments, your credit score should reflect your reliability. A high credit score can help you get better credit card terms, which lowers your cost of borrowing. Here are some tips to manage your debt. First, regularly check your credit report for mistakes. Did you know roughly 20% of credit reports have mistakes on them? Speaking of regular checkups, it's also important for you to check your bills and pay stubs for mistakes too. You want to catch everywhere you may be losing money. Second, avoid penalties by paying at least the minimum requirement on time. No need to pay a penalty if you don't have to. Third, actively look for lower rates to consolidate and pay off expensive loans. Fourth, even after you pay off older accounts, it's important that you keep them open to build your credit history. So student loan refinancing. At Doc, we reward financial responsibility by making loan refinancing easy. Student loan refinance can be tricky though, and is a very individualized decision. The benefits of student loan refinancing is that you can consolidate your loans. Some of you may have as many as 8 different loan types. By refinancing, you can have one payment It's easier for you to manage and potentially lower interest rate. But student loan refinance is not for everybody. It may not make sense for you if, one, you have an income-based repayment plan based on a percentage of your income, which is designed to give you a lower payment requirements up front. Two, you're eligible for loan forgiveness based on a public service or health shortage area. You should be very thoughtful about student loan refinancing and use the advice of a financial advisor or loan consultant. They can help you think through what your career path will be and whether it's worthwhile to consolidate your loans, which could potentially lose the benefit of a forgiveness program. Three, your loans are in forbearance. You need to consider the trade-off of not making payments versus having a lower interest rate. Four, you deferred your student loan payments on the basis of economic hardship. If you refinance, you'll lose that deferment period and you'll likely have to go into active repayment. If any of these four things are true for you, you should think hard about whether it's worth it to refinance. All right, now we have something come out of the blue. You got into a car accident, I'm really sorry. But now you've been told you're going to be bedridden for 5 months and require 2 surgeries plus physical therapy. We think that we're the only ones that treat patients, and it won't happen to us. We're capable of being hurt, and if you are, you need to think through it. What will the next few months be like? How am I going to cover my missed income? How am I going to care for my dependents? How will I cover my own medical expenses? Well, that's where the I for dire comes in, insurance. Understanding insurance properly will help you save money and also protect you from the downside of worst case scenario that can happen in your life. Your employer will help you navigate 4 different types of insurance: malpractice, which we call MedMal, disability, life, and health insurance. Now here are some general tips. Estimate how much insurance you'll need based upon government requirements and your own needs. Budget an emergency fund and retirement savings to reduce your dependence on insurance and supplement what your employer provides as needed. The graduate medical office, which you'll commonly refer to in residency as GME, at your hospital residency will help guide you through this process. Now we go to the third letter, R, retirement, and dire. I know that part of the reason why you're here today is because you're cash strapped, but you're thinking, how can I even afford to do all the things I need to do when I moved into my new city for residency and also put money away for retirement? Think about it this way. If there are 2 people that save $100 a month towards their retirement, and one starts saving 10 years before the other, the early saver will have nearly twice as much saved by the age of 65. Now, if you can't put away 15% of your income, then why don't you build towards it? It's not so much how much you put aside, but it's really the discipline and the consistency every month. In many of these residency programs, the employer will match your savings. This means for every dollar you personally save, they'll contribute an additional dollar to your savings. So you earn more by saving money. Another reason to save early: many government saving programs like a Roth IRA help you save money by reducing your taxes on your savings. But there's a catch. There's a salary limit on them. Someday you will earn more than the salary cap, which is good news, but then you won't be able to use them with this tax advantage anymore. Now we finally get to the E in dire, emergency. You rarely hear about an emergency fund, but it's a valuable tool that could potentially save you a lot of money, so it should be on your radar. An emergency fund is a savings account you create for yourself, so you have cash available if you ever have an emergency. A great yet unfortunate example of this was the news during the California wildfires. Many property owners are finding that their disaster insurance isn't covering their losses, so they need to depend on their personal savings. Ideally, in an emergency fund, it's a savings account you never use, or you never need to use. It will contain 3 to 6 months of your take-home pay stored aside for an emergency. An emergency fund should be liquid, which means you can access the cash within 24 to 48 hours. This is why you won't want this money to be part of your stock market investments. It needs to be in a money market account or a high-yield savings account. Overall, think of this pyramid as a foundation that adds the layers that you need in order to have good financial stability over the course of your career. You are at the level where retirement savings, systematic investing, and maximizing tax efficiencies are your top priorities. Right now, your most important priority is getting to residency in the most financially responsible way possible. Many residents lean on expensive credit like credit cards. We at Dr. Doc created another resource, a personal loan designed uniquely and exclusively for doctors. Because we understand your situation better than most lenders, we can provide you terms that fit you better. Dr. Doc offers a financial loan up to $25,000 for graduate and medical students who have matched into residency. Matched student borrower $15,000 on average to cover those initial transition costs. In addition to better terms, Dr. Doc strives to provide a better resource to doctors. That's why we provide financial benefits, easy tools, and exclusive partner offers. Our goal is to make borrowing easy, including using an online platform, a fast pre-approval, and fast funding after loan approval. We want you to succeed, so we provide you the ability to refinance as your financial profile grows stronger with no loan repayment penalties and tailored advice to help doctors reach your financial goals. So as a next step, determine what loan amount would be right for you. We recommend that you borrow only what you need. Download our toolkit to estimate what your needs will be like. And thank you.